It's Friday.
Yes,
I am Mariah Afola. As always, I have the ladies with me. Dr. Obiajilu Ugbo in the building. How you doing?
Excellent morning. You're not a good person. I just want to go on to that. Mariah is a sweet person, but not a good person. Whatever that means. I'm okay. I'm okay. So we went for former
governor,
Fashola, former governor, former ministers event yesterday. I, Nima, and Miriam represented the ladies of YOURVIEW, and I was excited. The whole place was full. Yeah. You know, we came in after the show, so we had to sit somewhere, and the conversation that we caught was really, really rich and amazing. And you know, there were young people who, like what we discuss here almost on a daily basis, you know, trying to find solutions to the problems of our nation and how we, you know, talk about the events that happen in the country and all of that. And it was inspiring to hear them, you know, talk about data and a whole lot on how we, even the media, would, you know, give the message out and how the people collating the data would affect the data and the biases and all of that. And I was wishing we had more time. Like, he made the event a whole day so that we have different generations of people talk about, express their own opinion and where we're going to. But it was amazing. And the fact that he stood up and he recognized us. My friends, the ladies of YOURVIEW, see, only three of us, see the way we
Oh my goodness. Afterwards, we went to go and see him.
Yes, we met other people. Where's Mariah? Where's Stopware? Where's you are doing amazing? Go ahead.
So many people there, so we didn't really get to stand here and take pictures, but we're able to take pictures with his wife. We took pictures with the Obas of Oniru and Elegushi. And we met former Minister for Women Affairs as well. There's just so many people, and everyone.
Well.
Yes, we met him as well. There were so many people who really appreciate what we do, appreciate the show. People who were like, "Oh, we watch it every day," you know. Really excited. We also met the co-author, as she was described. That's his wife. And everyone sends their greetings and say,
congratulations to BRF.
Congratulations, sir.
How are you doing, Topsy?
I'm very good. All road leads to... My conference is next week, Saturday. So this
congratulations!
The conference is called The Game of Money. And the Game of Money is targeted at people who are earning. There will be a conference for those on how to earn, but the goal is managing effectively and multiplying what you have. So I asked my staff and all the people I mentored yesterday, I just sent a message. I said, give me a quote that you can associate with me. And I got 4 people saying the same thing. Money comes to those who manage it well. As in, apparently I say it so often. And that's what the Game of Money is about. Money would come, more money comes to the people who have managed what they have well. So the conference is about helping you to manage what you have well. It's a free conference in Lagos, mainland. It's not island, Maryland, main day. So go to my Instagram page. The website is rep360.co. You would see how to register there, and you'll be happy you're there. Everybody coming is meant to come with their 1-year goal and their 5-year goal. And every of our speakers, I've gotten briefed that you have to refer to their goals and you have to give them a template on how to go from where they are to where they desire to be. And I'm expecting clarity for everyone who attends.
And because Tokwe has attended like 1 trillion conferences, so she understands the do's, the don'ts, and how to ensure you get the meat from the conference. You're not going to be fluffy. It's just going to be you're going to go there and you get actual real essence. So well done, and looking forward to learning also, because I need to go from point A to point B. So hopefully we're all going to be there.
And that's how I also felt at the launch yesterday during the conversation. I was like, it's always good to just go to these places. There's so much to learn, perspectives that will be, you know,
make your mind
rich you, and enrich your mind. Very good.
So we launched YOURVIEW Pidgin. The ladies of YOURVIEW Pidgin were unveiled yesterday at the press briefing, and we're pretty excited because the objective of the show is never just to be the Lone Rangers, but to have conversations you know, across the country. Let women, I'm so happy, I always say it, I'm proud that more shows in different stations across the country are having women gathering to talk, which is great. But we realize that there's still opportunity for women who speak Pidgin, because there's a Pidgin community who are unable to understand some really complex issues, not because they don't get it, but because it doesn't really hit them, you know. You talk about cancer, you talk about awareness, and they're just hearing you, but it's flying over their heads. When you break it down in the Pidgin, in the language that is relatable, it sinks in on why they have to go to get checked. It sinks in why they have to manage their homes. It sinks in on what's going on with government. They get it. So we've got amazing women who are going to be launching tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. They're pretty excited. So please support them. We're going to be rooting for them. They are going to be going live tomorrow. So thank you to all the teams, members who made this happen. Thank you. And we're looking forward to a fantastic show tomorrow. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we go through the front pages, up the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, we're going to start with the nation. Food crisis, hardship, federal government, states launch emergency action. House will stand with Nigerians, Abbas pledges. Investors buy into Nigeria's economic reforms. Why social media should be regulated. Labour issues 14-day ultimatum to government on agreements. Ujogbo, varsity buster, NYSC member, businessman died during Eagles and Bafana AFCON clash. Issues in power sector complicated, says minister. Okay, which story? And no plan to raise petrol prices, NNPCL.
Okay, so the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and the Trade Union Congress yesterday, that's the TUC, gave the federal government 14 days ultimatum to implement the 16-point agreement reached October last year. And they said they gave this ultimatum in a statement jointly signed by the NLC President Joe Ajero and his TUC counterpart Festus Osifo in Abuja. And the ultimatum, according to the union, is starting today. And they said that the federal government had breached the contracts of what they had agreed since October last year. Federal government, on the other hand, is denying the breach of agreement, saying that they will continue to give priority to workers' welfare and that the union just needs to continue the dialogue. So they should come back to the table and they will look at all the issues again and keep working towards it. That right now, having a form of strike will not be good for the nation as a whole based on all the things that we are going through. But the president was the one, that's the president of the NLC, said that the approval of the 35,000, they talked about approving 35,000 naira for workers, additional, to help them cushion the effects of the issues, inflation and everything that we're going through. They said they had just paid for 1 month. They had not continued. The promise was for 6 months. They had just paid 1, and they had not continued. I think there was something else that they had agreed they were going to do, which, according to NLC, they had not done. And now it seems like there's a blatant disregard for the principles of good faith, welfare, and the rights of Nigerian workers, looking at everything that's happening with inflation and the fact that a lot of people are struggling to find food to eat. But now that the federal government is saying we need to go back to the table and discuss again, let's see where we pick up from, I would think that the NLC will agree to that so that they can come up with a working modality to ensure that these people, at least the promises that they had made, they've been paid. There was also, yes, I remember the second one now. They wanted to pay those lecturers who went on strike their few months' salary that the government hasn't paid that yet. It was part of the things they had promised.
Okay.
Mine is a sad story. I want mine to be the last one.
Okay, so the president has a bit of good news for Nigerians clamoring for affordable housing. There was the foundation laying the groundbreaking of 2,000 houses within 12 states by December this year. And the president said this is part of the larger plan of 20,000 houses within the renewed hope. Said we say it all the time, 28 million housing deficit. And the goal is to make it even more affordable for people. So he said that Nigerians deserve affordable housing. He said that's one of the reasons they broke the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development out of Ministry of Works and brought in professionals to man the ministries, and we're already seeing the beginning of that. Before the end of this year, there will be 2,000 housing units built in renewed hope estate. So the groundbreaking was at the one in Abuja. He also commissioned the Minister for Urban Development and Housing to work with the Minister for FCT to ensure that there's road access to all the renewed hope estates within Abuja. I am excited about this because I know that construction will stimulate the economy, engineers will get paid, laborers will get paid, a lot of cash would flow, and it will trickle down even to the market women. So this is in the right direction, and by December, we shall have 2,000 homes at least already ready.
All right, before we get to this, the painful or sad story, let me take for those who have been observing queues at the filling stations, there's a lot of panic buying going on. So NNPC has said that they've denied any imminent hike in pump prices. The statement was made by the Chief Communications Officer, Mr. Olufe Mishone. It was issued in Abuja yesterday, saying that assured customers of abundant availability of PMS, and there's no, so they should shun all the panic buying going around, trying to be queues in the filling stations a couple of days ago, just because there was a information that there could be an increase in the hike of pump price. That is false information.
Yeah, so this is the sad story that came as a result of the victory that we enjoyed that we got against the South African players in the at the semi-finals. So they say while many of us were happy and excited, 4 people lost their lives while watching, and after watching the match. They said of the 4 people, we had all APC chieftain Dr. Cairo Ojubo, who was a former House of Reps member and ED of the NDDC Commission. We also had Deputy Bursar of the Kwara State University, Abdullahi Ayuba, an NYC core member known as Samuel, and then a Nigerian businessman based in Cote d'Ivoire, Osonduwoye, who slumped and died, when the referee had cancelled Nigeria's second goal and awarded a penalty to South Africans. For some of them, it was after the penalty had been awarded a couple of them, after the penalty had been awarded to South Africa, one complained that they were feeling dizzy and uncomfortable, and before they could get into the hospital, he had passed on. The young boy, core member as well, said he was feeling dizzy, and the businessman, he slumped, while watching. So it's important. I think it's our topic later on as well. So we're going to talk about all the reasons why this could have happened. But, on one hand, we're excited, happy. But on the other hand, some families are mourning the passing of their loved ones.
Very painful indeed. May their souls rest in peace.
Amen.
The Punch, 14-day strike notice. FG Labour differ on aborted peace deal. Government orders 100,000 metric tons of grains. Release wards on one's hoarders. Foreign airlines fear $200 million loss over Naira depreciation. Banks dollar sale falls as Naira weakens to 1,497 to the dollar. Tinubu plans 2,000 houses in 12 states by December. Motorists seek extension of Lagos-Ibadan Expressway street lights. FG MultiChoice agreed to $37 million tax settlement. Okay, which story?
Okay, let me start with this. Motorists plying the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway on Thursday have commended This is a good story. Nigerians have commended the federal government for the installation of street lights on the Long Bridge area and have called for the extension to all the sections of the expressway. So the correspondent says that they monitor the ongoing installation of street lights along Wariwa stretch of the Long Bridge. Observed that some street lights have been installed within the stretch, but motorists are saying that it would be good if they were able to extend it to other parts of that road as well, that it will reduce the cases of insecurity across, along the expressway. I took this because first there was an acknowledgement and commending of government for doing something right, and then saying, okay, could we do even better? So it's good.
Constructive criticism.
Well, it wasn't even a criticism, just feedback, and I like that for us.
Feedback.
I like that for us.
Yeah.
So
let's go on a short break now. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing a punch. Go ahead, BC.
Yes, I have a story. The International Air Transport Association, IATA, and the Geneva-based Trade Association representing world airlines are expressing fears that the foreign airlines operating in Nigeria may lose about $200 million due to the exchange rate that is happening, exchange rate depreciation. So the IATA Regional Vice President for Africa and the Middle East, Kamil Al-Wadi, said that the issue of the trapped funds were exacerbated by the depreciation of the naira, and which we know that has dropped significantly against the dollar. And he's saying that, and there's also the backdrop of the over 700 million foreign airline tickets revenue report. Is still trapped in Nigeria. We know that last week the central bank had said that it paid all the verified debts that they owed the foreign airlines, but IATA replied immediately also saying that they can't say they have paid everything because they have over $700 million still trapped in the system. And they went ahead to advise local travel agents to find a way to reduce the prices so that Nigerians and other people will be able to buy their tickets. And they explained also that a lot of people are now buying their tickets from other countries, which is taking away the funds that we're supposed to be repatriating into Nigeria based on that. And the complaint is also that the fact that they have about 720 million trapped here, and our naira has depreciated further again by 30%. That means they are losing over 200 million on the money already trapped here, and it's discouraging to their businesses. A lot of them are having to rethink operating in Nigeria and so forth. But that the federal government should plan to reimburse, pay them, make like a monthly or quarterly plan, so that they are paying, they're not waiting till the money is in lump sum, they are paying gradually to get us out of this.
Okay, so many of us remember the multi-choice in Nigeria. The FIRS had frozen their account, the multi-choice Nigeria's account in 2022, sold multi-choice group with 1.8 trillion naira, that's about $1.2 billion tax claim of its Nigeria operation, and a $342 million claim for value-added taxes. So they have since agreed to pay $37 million tax settlement. The MultiChoice is the owner of the satellite division DSTV, and MultiChoice said in a statement on Thursday that in terms of the agreement, MultiChoice Nigeria and MultiChoice Africa shall pay a total of $35.4 billion naira, which is about $37 million, to offset the security deposits and good faith payments made to date. So I mean that's probably a good thing, at least concerning the settlement.
So I'm taking a story about federal government deploying special military troops into Ekiti. This is based on the security challenges that they've been facing. If we recall, there was the killing of 2 traditional rulers in Okeaku axis that happened last week. Then there was also the same day the incidents of school people in Emure Ekiti that were also kidnapped, and the governor had a meeting with the Chief of Army Staff, that's General Taoreed Lagbaja, Chief of Defense Staff Musa Mustafa, and the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu. And based on the meeting, they called for deployment of more security operatives into the states. And on Thursday, yesterday, the governor received, the government of Ekiti State received the first batch of troops deployed to the state, and they were seen patrolling major towns. The commander of the 32nd Artillery Brigade in Akure, Brigadier General John La, spoke at the ceremony where they were brought in and said that this will be enhancing the security of lives and property within the state. He said they will be covering the 16 local governments, and they are going to flush out criminal headsmen, kidnappers, and other criminal elements that are wreaking havoc within the states. And we're hoping that this would restore a bit of peace in the hearts of Ekiti people. That's where my mom is from, and well, it's worrisome when you get a mom was banned.
Yes, so
we can't afford this.
Here.
Okay, Daily Sun, NLCT used to give federal government 14-day ultimatum. Insecurity, we must demand accountability from security chiefs, says Abbas. ECOWAS AU brainstorm on how to bring Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso back. Tinubu, Kalu, Akpabio, others mourn as Asagba Ujogbo die. Domestic airlines dying, AON laments. Lagos goes tough on water regulation, insists on permit for borehole drillers. Food crisis, Tinubu directs immediate release of 102 metric tons of food items, and Edo INEC confirms primaries notification dates from 16 political parties. Okay.
Yeah, so Lagos State government is reaffirming its position on the issuance of regulatory permits for borehole drillers operating in the state, and they said this is to avoid depletion of groundwater resources and for effective water governance, management, and appropriate regulation by the authorities. So at a stakeholders engagement that was jointly organized by the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources and Lagos State Water Regulatory Commission, the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokunbo Wahab, said that it's important to release the benefits of consuming clean water. And the consequences of doing otherwise is that the government must protect the water space, particularly the groundwater. So now they want to be giving licenses to borehole drillers. They are calling all borehole drillers to come together. They will put them into classes, Class A and Class B. They want to use data now to find out what they are expected to do, what they are doing, where they are doing it, in order to be able to give them the license, and so that everybody can work together and ensure that we have good water coming out of the ground. And also maybe they will now be testing the areas to know exactly where you put your borehole, especially in the houses, because I know that some people are actually drinking toilet water based on if you see where their sewage is coming out from and where the borehole is.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make sense.
Okay, so ECOWAS, all the ministers of foreign affairs across the ECOWAS member states have had a meeting and see what they can do to reconcile, bring back Mali, Burkina Faso, and I think it's Niger back into the fold of the ECOWAS. So they're having several meetings saying that the president of the ECOWAS Commission, Omar Toure, said that the meeting will consider the notifications withdrawal of these 3 member states, saying that stressing that ECOWAS is not an institution but a community. Says despite their collective efforts to create a conducive and peaceful environment for their community citizens, these 3 have asked to leave with immediate effect. So they're going to see how they can have a high-level mediation between them and those 3 countries to see how they can bring them back into the fold. So it's really crucial.
So I'm taking the story about the release of food. It was in all the papers, the fact that food hike and food scarcity seem to be everywhere within the country. So the president has directed, had a meeting through representatives with the Rice Millers Association of Nigeria to address the rising food shortage within the country. The Rice Millers Association have agreed to release about 60,000 metric tons of rice. They will make it available. They said that supply should last Nigerians over the next 6 weeks. They've also asked in a special presidential committee on emergency food intervention yesterday, they've agreed to release 42,000 metric tons of maize to be made available and distributed. Then the Ministry of Agriculture is saying that as a last resort, they might need to import food to address the shortage of food within the country, and I'd also reach out to food hoarders. Apparently, some people are buying food or stockpiling food that should be flowing within the market and are keeping it, and it's causing an artificial hike in food prices apart from the expected hike in food based on the economic realities. So they say they would deal with the food orders as well, and as soon as the dry season gets underway, there's hope that from the government that the food prices will drop. I think that apart from importing food, most of the challenge is waste that happens between the farm gate and getting to the markets in the major cities. If the government can buy from the farmers, they would be stimulated. If they provide security, farmers will go to the markets, go to their farms and shops. So there are some other smaller things that we can do in interim to ensure there's enough food circulating the Nigerian markets.
Okay, let's find 2 stories we're not taking here. Protests FG Malls food imports if hunger persists. PH, that's Port Harcourt Refinery, to begin operations as Shell supplies 475,000 barrels of oil. NLC TUC issue 14-day nationwide strike notice to federal government. Okay. NLC, did you have NLC?
I took it.
You took it already. Okay, let's move on now to the Nigerian Tribune. Obviously, there's no story. That's fine. So, what a woman brings to the table is unquantifiable, says Pastor Temitope Olagbegi. 14 abducted passengers of 2 buses in Kogi regain freedom. How threats to food security in Africa can be tackled, says EU and AU experts. Ekiti FG deploys special military troops. Address inflation, poverty, insecurity, food crisis. GNI tells Tinubu and governors. And Rep Speaker gives Nigerians fresh hope on hardship and insecurity. Yes,
so I've taken the story about 14 passengers of the God is Good Transport Service and ABC. They had been abducted. They were coming from the east and they were going to Abuja. They were abducted in Kogi State. As of the report on Thursday, they said 5 p.m. Each and every one of them has been released and they're hale and hearty. There was a spokesperson for them. The person says he cannot confirm if any ransom was paid, but he can confirm that they are all hale and hearty and are on their way to meet their various families.
So airline operators, domestic airline operators this time, are complaining about the harsh operating environment in Nigeria. Said that the cost of Jet A1 is so high, the Naira devaluation and the scarcity of foreign exchange is choking the local airline operators within Nigeria out of business. Many of them might be shutting down. They said that there was a proposal made by the Aviation Ground Handling Association of Nigeria that there will be a 400% increase from the 31st of March 2024. And many of the aircrafts, that's from the AON, that's Airline Operators of Nigeria, they said many of the aircrafts are due for checks overseas, sea checks overseas, but they have been unable to access foreign exchange to carry out these checks. And they might have to ground the planes to avoid any complications. They said there's a negative trend that would make domestic flights almost ground to nothing because there will be no aircraft left for the operation. He said we're now buying fuel at 1,300 per litre, and that's the aviation fuel for 1,300 per litre, that they also need oxygen supplies within the plane. He just listed a lot of the challenges that the local players within the airline industries are facing, that they're making losses factors beyond their control. Handling companies are increasing charges, many things are happening, and people are scared that at one point in time you won't be able to even get any local flights that will be able to take you within Nigeria if intervention isn't carried out to support them.
So the Port Harcourt refinery is set to start operations following the supply of 475,000 barrels of crude oil provided by Shell Petroleum Development Company. So confirming this significant milestone was the, I'm trying to get his name here, but I can't get the name. So, but pretty much the recommendation of crude supply from the Bonny oil is quite significant achievement and a game changer for the industry and country at large. The intensive preparations, collaboration, and dedication of both the teams involved was quite a huge milestone, and we can't wait for this petrol to be available across the country. We don't know how much they'll sell it, but let us even begin to produce ours. This one is not Dangote's one. This is our own.
Prices will sort out
So this is not Dangote's. This is our own 100% Port Harcourt. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully, I don't know if they can find crude
into jet.
I don't know. We'll wait and see.
They may be able to.
To help us out. Okay, that's all we can take on front page review. When we come back, move on to our hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the grand comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Gbenga Adeyinka the First. OJ right here, 7 of 7, like you already know.
Gbenga right here, 7 of 7, like I'm beginning to know.
It's now time for the questions.
You don't scare me one bit. Bata bata, I go drink. So.
Okay. So now one chance for Inter. My first question. Do you remember the names of the winners of that edition of StarQuest?
Of course I do.
Why do you?
And I hate myself for this. Because I have this question for you. Final question. No. Where outside Nigeria and what year? I think you're the only one that can be wicked.
I am thinking, because I know back in the day...
Don't think. Answer my question quick. You are thinking too much. I don't like it.
The UK.
Final answer.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind?
Thanks for staying with us. So on this segment, we'll be discussing the very sad event of the aftermath of Wednesday's match between the Super Eagles and Bafana of South Africa. According to reports, some people slumped and died. as a result of the high-tension encounter while watching the match. We'll also try to analyze those circumstances and also speak on the need for Nigerians to be cautious considering their health status, especially as we go into Sunday's match at 9 p.m. You can call us on 081-0764-1679, 090-24163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Entertainment _. We'd love to hear from you. All right, so we all agree that that match was high tension. I mean, there was a video that TVC had recorded of me watching the match, and I was really, it was an intense moment because I was deep.
You were inside
I was inside the pitch with them. Because my mind was locked in. You know, and many people, once their mind is locked in, they are unable to come out of that, you know, maybe easily. Because I remember that moment, for those of us that watched the match, where Victor scored the second goal. We were all excited, but then it was overruled and then awarded a penalty to the other guys. That could break anybody's heart. Even my heart was broken. So imagine somebody who had a high blood pressure, who had health issues, you know, underlying health issues, may have had their heart shattered just because of that. So what are your thoughts on this? I mean, it's a time for joy, happiness, but now we're having to talk about people possibly losing their lives as a result of these emotions. Right?
Yes, so even in the papers when we were reading today, we had, you know, a doctor who was just talking about how, you know, what could have happened. He says that if you look at the timing of when this happened, was at the time they were watching or just a few moments after they had watched it. And he talked about, you know, people may have underlying cardiovascular, you know, problems, high blood pressure, that's hypertension and so forth. So for me, you know, I've always said this, I borrowed myself brain a long time ago because I knew that it wasn't just an emotional thing for me. There was a point I could actually feel it physically. My palms would be sweaty. You know, I would actually feel a bit tired from just the, you know, emotions back and forth. So I knew that this was not for me. In fact, I was even talking to a few people who said that halfway through the match, they stopped watching and, you know, decided to either take a walk or just clear their minds because it really takes a toll on you emotionally. But it brings to light that, you know, we need to be careful about our health status. We need to pay attention about, you know, how we live our lives, what we eat, our medical visits, how often do we do it. And, you know, a lot of people were mentioning that, you know, we've got these really tiny gadgets now that people wear to monitor your heart and everything. So while you are watching, you are also able to monitor your heart to make sure that, you know, that you're fine. So going forward, I think, especially towards Sunday, just make sure that you're healthy. And if you're not, you can be like me. We'll watch from second-hand this thing. After second-hand gist, and we'll get all that is needed, and we'll enjoy with you later.
Yeah, so what I say here is just we need to become self-aware. Self-awareness is the key to solving and avoiding some things or some problems that may just be in front of us if we are not paying attention. And self-aware means you may not have any health issues, but you are someone who cannot distance their emotions from, you know, those sort of activities, and you get heightened. There are people, even from arguments, they are not playing match, they are just arguing, you know, and then their emotions get so tense that they will brood for days. So if you're already in that kind of situation, you will know that if you have to watch this, you just watch yourself when you're getting to that point where you're now cursing everybody and you're now overreacting, because that reaction may even follow you home for days, and they lose out on a lot of things. They lose out on sleep. They are constantly, you know, replaying the incident or the accident that had happened. There are people like that. They don't have health issues, but that's just how they process and how they are infused into everything that sort of just triggers them a bit.
You see videos here of the Super Eagles mourning those who have died. They took a moment.
It's just painful. Yeah. So that's on one hand. Then we have people who, by probably nature of their work and all of that, they've come down with some health issues that are, like she rightly mentioned, heart-related. Yeah. You know that this is not for you, because the tension there will always naturally affect you, and because your heart cannot take it now naturally, you just avoid those things. You can stay on the sidelines, you can ask people questions, how is it going and all of that, and you can, you know, there's a way they used to do it those days when they are watching women who are very busy, they are working, they peep in what's happening, then they go back to their work, and they peep in again and ask what's happening, and they go back to their work. So you're being aware of where you stand and how you can handle the situation would save you from this sort of things. So let's not move with the excitement of, I know a lot of people are under pressure to watch. Yeah. Like people are calling on their friends, get the jersey, we're going to watch. Some people know that they cannot stand the tension, but the peer pressure will not let them stay on their own. They want to go. Please understand where you are. And I've also noticed that a lot of people are not aware of where their health status is, because they see it as big man's problem. Why am I constantly checking my BP? Why am I constantly going for this? You know, when you go to the doctor several times, that's when they now see what is not there. So let me just stay away. We're now realizing that what you don't know may likely kill you. So check and be sure of where you're.
All right, let me come to you, Tokwe, because I know that, I was telling somebody when I had that day of the match, my whole mind was on the match. I was preparing for 6 p.m. For whatever reason, I had an emergency meeting on the island, and then I had another meeting in Marina. And I was not meeting up until 6:30 or 6 o'clock. I was like, when he not done, I'm going to miss this match. I was on the road. So in my head, I'm like, just go home and watch this in the house. I said, no, I will not forgive myself. They are giving me the gist of what happened. No, that one will give me a high blood, that one will give me an attack. That somebody was giving me the story. So a lot of people feel that way, that they shouldn't be giving me the gist. I must experience it, because the thrill in any match is the emotion. That's the dopamine. That's that happy thing.
Can your heart take the thrill?
So you get thrilled in the other room every single day.
Some people also die from those ones too, as well.
Their heart cannot carry it.
Mont Rushmore on Facebook said, watching football is not for the faint-hearted.
Literally.
And that's the truth. Watching football is not for the faint-hearted, because if you cannot carry it, it can take your heart away. Many of us have someone we know that they say, oh, went out in the morning and did not come back, or she just slept off in the office, or he was driving and he just put his head down. So there are many Nigerians that are not aware of their health status, and it shows up in unexpected places like this, where you are, your heart is put to test, and your heart cannot carry what you exposed your heart to, which is what happened in this case, where some people, their hearts gave up under the pressure. You know, you can even watch a replay, like you know the result, and your heart will still be engaged. That's how sports is. Like, I know Nigeria won, and yet I'm watching and I'm like, and then I'm like, calm down, no. Nigeria won this match. So, like Mariam said, you can actually watch the replay. You can follow fixture. If you know your health status cannot handle it, and then maybe you take your medicine ahead of the match.
Exactly.
Because if you know that this thing would happen. Whatever they see, we were in Singapore. Somebody saw my husband wear Arsenal shirt, and it was like, Mr. Mark, because he had his name at the back of the shirt. You're an Arsenal fan? Oh man, you must have very strong heart. Because they are always being heartbroken back to back. So football fans know that this can go either ways, and you must, as much as you are hoping for success, you must be prepared for the loss. And if it happens, you're prepared that if it goes wrong, I'll be able to handle it. So that preparation, some people are not prepared for it. And I would advise that when people should learn how to deal with emergencies, because a lot of, like, at least on two of the deaths could be, I feel it could be been avoided if they had immediate first aid. Like, when people have heart attack, what do you do? Don't pour water. How do you know how to do CPR? Are we prepared to offer first aid?
So as we are going to Sunday, are you saying that we should have those? So all those viewing centers should have a first aid kit. Yeah. Maybe between today and tomorrow, please get a quick lesson on how to even go online on YouTube. How do you recover? What's the word? Is it resuscitate somebody who is having cardiac arrest? Those are easy things you can do. So if your viewing center is something to pay attention to.
Yes, it's very important, really. And going towards Sunday, if you don't know for certain what your status is, please go and check. And there's nothing wrong for diehards like you. You know,
only when Nigeria is
you know, there's a way we take death. Death is just all round a sad event. We don't even put a positive spin on it. See, Oyimbos that have lost their lives in things like this, when the people are talking about them, they'll say he died doing what he loved. Nigerians, we don't talk about death like that. Do you understand? So, on the one hand, if you feel I must watch it no matter what, are you prepared? You need to understand that it also means that I may go doing this. Is this something you are prepared to do? And then would it be something you would like people to say he passed on doing what he loves?
Which
exactly what
which is and just like Tokwe had said earlier, you know, on that day of the match, after I got home, I now went back to rewatch the match. So yes, so because for me, after the tension, no, I didn't miss. No, it's all the parts I missed. I watched it from I just wanted to watch without the pressure. So though after the match, I now got home, got the fish, relaxed. They gave us fish at Exporter. I didn't answer them. I said, this fish, I can't eat it here. There's too much tension. When I now got home, I probably going to choke. So I will not eat this fish here.
Oh my God.
Let me package it. When I now go home, TV, rewind. See everybody now come in here. Let's watch it with joy and happiness. So as you said, you can still enjoy the match even after they have announced the results.
So there's one of our YouTube fans said that, where is it? Temitokwe. Oh, my namesake, Temitokwe Sheba. She said that my mom called me yesterday and begged me not to watch the final match on Sunday because I'm pregnant and dealing with pregnancy-induced blood pressure. So some people watching this now should not wait until anybody calls you to tell you. You know from your BP, you know from your own health status that you should not be caught anywhere else. Don't let feeling among you where you should not be, you know. You are still a loyal Nigerian. You're still a passionate Nigerian. You can still wear your jersey and stay at home and be checking fixture until the end and watch it again because knowing yourself, don't expose yourself unnecessarily to
You also not go to hell if you do not watch. Some of us did not watch and we don't even have any intention of watching. And we're fine, we're jubilating with Nigeria, you know, and all of that. So do not let anybody put you under any form of pressure that I must be this certain way to be a patriot. You are patriotic in other ways, you know, and all that. Worst case, you can buy a jersey and stay in your house and do something else. It's part of, you know, being Nigerian. I went through a lot of having my heart palpitate most of the time because of the sort of career that I decided to do, that I don't want to do it for somebody else. So I can take my heart palpitating when I'm waiting for the results of my auditions, I'm waiting for the result of my beauty pageant, I'm waiting for something good that's coming. So, you know, it's palpitating for me. It's my own palpitation.
If the money comes, it enters your pocket.
So I cannot just be palpitating for everything else that is external. I would only give my energy, give my prayers, and you know, and that's also okay. And nobody should make another person feel bad for not watching the match. I had some young people have been chatting me, say, Madam Busy, are you watching for Sunday? Should we come over? I said, please. I know they have.
Talking about Sunday, what are our plans? I mean, aside for we know for TVC, we have a plan. We have Exporter who's supporting us with the beautiful game. So our fans will be there at Exporter. But what are you guys planning? What should we do? Chicken? We have to have some sassoon, some drinks. You have to have some grilled fish, you know?
So,
are you watching?
No.
I was
You can't be a Nigerian and not watch. What is it? I
am not a Nigerian.
Don't press.
Are you going to host us? You're not hosting.
I'm going to Exporter. Let's meet at Exporter.
No, I can't do that.
I'm sorry. Even the
child friendly.
Even the what's his name? The GM of what's his name? Let me say it on TV because maybe he's having it on the. Let me not say it on TV just in case he's not inviting the whole public.
Okay.
It has to be full if you're wondering.
But he sent me an invite this morning. I sent my apologies. I can't make it because Sundays is 9 p.m. I have to be near the house. I can't be all the way on the island. I have to
because it's not this Sunday.
Okay, so let me tell you.
Somewhere.
We are going there in the morning. It's 1 o'clock p.m. I must be back in this Lagos.
How do you want to do
So for that day, my kids actually don't. We don't watch football within the house. I would love to do that. So currently, we are going to watch this one so that I just feel like I did not give my children that memory of. At least I can still remember watching the 1994, watching 1996, the Olympics, where we won the Olympic gold medal. So I feel like I should give my children that memory because I don't think they have any, and they're not football fans, so but let them just feel Nigerian vibe. So we're going to watch. Let
me take Samuel. Good morning. Are you there? You're live.
To those who lost their lives.
Sorry?
During the match. To those who lost their lives during the match, may they are still rest in peace.
Amen.
I want to tell people this. They shouldn't attach emotion to war or even movie. You know, some people cannot even watch scripted movie. They can't watch it. There are people who cannot watch movies. See them screaming, shout. Tell them this is scripted movie. So people acted it. So to those who are watching football and watching about it, some people are better.
Yeah.
Some people out there bet on all those football. And they lack the emotion to carry what is going on the so that is that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So that's
He's right. So I'm the sort of person when I watch a movie, I would cry. I would get upset as I get upset. There's this very popular movie that was on Netflix about these young black boys that were that were accused falsely. Do you know I could not watch that movie? When I started watching the movie, then I read up on it I couldn't bring myself to watch it. So that is how emotionally involved I get in things. So I just do not even want to be. I would let you people go ahead. Just me later is fine. But also I was going to say, I hope I've not.
Okay. When we come back, you remember. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll look at the happy side of the match so that we don't want to focus too much on the sad part, but the happy side of the match. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Thanks for staying with us. We're going to be wrapping up on this very soon, but you're going to say something, Mariam.
I was going to say that also my not watching the match on Sunday is a good thing for Nigerians because I've been known to jinx your results. So I'm going to be doing you the favor. When I don't watch it, you guys win. So I'm not going to watch it on Sunday. Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, we're going to open our phone lines now to hear from Nigerians. I would love to hear from Nigerians what their plans are for Sunday. Have they gotten their jerseys? Are you going to be cooking? I know that when I was growing up, when Nigeria is playing like this, we are cooking. I mean, there's fried chicken, there's meat, Daddy likes something called guirilla. It's from the Republic of Benin. They call it just like grilled chicken. It's crazy. He loves it when he's watching the match with a star lager beer, you know, and everybody, the whole neighborhood knows that we're watching in Alao's house. So everybody comes around, and there's a lot of this. But when we lose, oh yeah, just carry yourself
to your bedroom.
You better be eating the food quickly. If not,
but we're not losing.
Everybody just carry and just go to their house quietly. When we win, oh my God, the whole neighborhood knows, and you know it's excitement. You can ask Daddy to get you anything, and trust me, you're gonna get it.
Wow.
You know, so let's take a few comments and then we wrap up on this.
Comments. Curry Michael says, "My happiness is that Coach Jose Pasirero, I just spelled that name. Pasero has proved himself. He has exonerated himself. We too cost that man towards the
Nigeria.
He was just quiet. Then
I love the way he swapped those guys towards the end, preparing for the penalties. You know, I didn't, because I don't really know these guys like that. Right. But then I was wondering why he was removing them. Someone said,
I really feel bad for you. I feel we should get some football analysts and put them on the show and engage you. We're not engaging you. I can see you want to talk about this, but we're just letting your parole.
No problem. But I love the way he was able to take out some of the players and putting people, because they hear natural. Yeah, go ahead.
Ario says, if we win this match, this will be like 10 years after. So the last time we won will be like 10 years ago. So I think we'll be like getting back on top. Nigeria says, just as we prepare to win the match, we should also make peace with losing. Yeah. That is the beauty of life.
We're Nigerians. We don't talk about losing before something.
I heard that the stadium is about 60,000. Somebody can confirm that for me. 60,000, I believe. Expecting 60,000 Ivorians to be there. You know, so maybe we'll have 100 or 200 people. You know, so we're going to be overwhelmed by the cheerleading of their citizens. It's their home.
Overwhelmed Nigerians?
I even saw on Twitter, on X, someone saying that if you want to go to Cote d'Ivoire by road, first make sure you head to Ejibo. From there, I think you can find the bus.
I'm looking for a free ticket. Like, I'm looking for somewhere that has a private jet. One of those rich folks that have a private jet. Please, if you're going, I want it to go. I would want to watch that match live on the box.
If that's the case,
high level. I'm looking for high level connect, not the kind of one that just carry me down. I want high level connect. PJ, take me there. I'm going to sit in the box. I can watch it. I'll abandon your interview that I want to go and do on Sunday. Quickly, and I'm off to Ivory Coast. But hey, if I don't get that, I'll be okay with Exporter. But yeah, so guys, we're going to be wrapping up. Any more comments before we wrap up on this?
They said Raya is really into this match. She even wore green throughout the week.
This I didn't know. It was very intentional. Since Monday through Friday, I just wanted to feel very greeny, you know, very Super Eagles, just to continue to sustain the momentum for Sunday. Because if I start, I want to maintain the
positive.
And talking about green, the captain wears an eco-friendly pair of boots to play.
Yeah, we saw your post.
I saw that post on your page.
That boy's fine. Come.
No, all of them are.
You see the girls' hostel, they're all like kissing the screen when it was like, look at these little children. They were like,
fine boys.
No, but that's what we did too.
Yeah, we
didn't do it for our own.
Wasn't
we didn't have.
We didn't have.
We did it for the Oyibo. We did it for the Oyibo players.
No way.
So, but we are happy that we have fine boys in the
No, Okocha got lots of likes.
But I didn't have height.
No, nobody cared about height. Who thought the height
was the dribbler now?
We didn't have height.
Forget height.
It was too short. We didn't like the fact that it was too short. But it's
okay. It was a Bayer or something. That one was also cute. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. All right, that's all we can take on this segment. Wishes to the Super Eagles of Nigeria, hoping that they can defeat the Elephants of Ivory Coast. We're wishing them the best on Sunday. And please, Nigerians, let's sustain the patriotism that we have right now. So let's just get our jerseys, prepare. I would like to just drive. Interestingly, on that day, I was on 3rd Milan Bridge during rush hour and it was empty. I'm like, I was not wondering, that was even 1 minute to what's going on?
We have AFCON every month.
Wasn't called me? We are here, some on Montebello Bridge. She's like, so you realize that everybody has gone to watch the match.
It seemed like rapture had happened.
Rapture, God bless you. Rush hour on a weekday. Yeah. Oh, no, please. So please, let's watch on Sunday. Okay, let's go on a short break. When we come back, move on to the next segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni, Yeni, Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger,
take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Omo fella. Omo Anikulapo Kuti. Wọ́n rò pé kíní kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome the one who can make time stand still forever, Mr. Kelechi Amadi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother.
You love that intro, Abby?
Yeah. It was great.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
We try like that.
Thank you.
Now my question, which I feel is a cheap question.
Oh, go ahead.
What does ISO stand for?
That is it. I think I'll drink.
No, you're joking.
I'm not joking.
Kelechi Amadi. No. Shay, you didn't whine me. You're whining me now.
I think I'll drink. Huh? No problem.
Okay.
I've always known it as ISO. I never bothered to know what it means. I know what it means, but I never really bothered to know what the acronym is. Tell me the brand of camera that I use, so much so that I even became an ambassador. That's very easy. It's out there.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
I just said, look, I give you this one as a token of my appreciation.
Sony.
Drink!
I'm not done. I'm not done. You did not say final answer.
It's final answer.
You did not ask me if that was my final answer.
You don't have any choice again. It's only
Nikon.
how many cameras do they have?
Nikon.
I tried to drink. I gave you a very easy something.
Nikon now.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so there's a story that caught our attention. Although the story, based on what we've heard so far, is that it might have been a church skit or something, but it was about a man who was seen complaining about the fact that his wife, or the lady he trained, sent to school, probably even helped out with her first job, was being presented in church to marry somebody else. And he came up. Now, there's a possibility it was a skit in church, but the reason why we're talking about it is because it happens, and it's reality of many people, where a man does all he can to take a young lady to school, help her through school, maybe because she's having financial issues or she's coming from a very poor background. And then she gets a fantastic job, maybe through his connections, gets a new job, meets new people, she's on a different level, and then she meets somebody else who she truly loves and wants to settle down with the person. And then the man feels, being that he feels betrayed because there is somebody who he thought he was going to have a long-term relationship with. This went viral and was really exciting to talk about because we know that it has happened several times. We're going to link it up with another story, which Tokwe had to brief on. What was the other story again that we're going to add to this?
Okay, no, the other story is, I think we had also taken that story about the Japa thing that happens where a man feels he's gone abroad, and then the wife joins him. He paves the way for her to get there, and then when she gets there, because of how things are done abroad, she either leaves him, you know. He, on the one hand, feels, I spent all this money on you, I brought you abroad, and now because you're making some money, you've reported me to the authorities, I don't have a house anymore, we're getting a divorce. And so this part of the story was like a second part to say, there were stories, what you heard is just one part. This other part is, I was made to give up my salary. Everything that I earned, I'll hand it over to him. I wasn't treated right. So there's a reason why some people behave that way. It's not that it just happens that a woman is a witch and turns around all of a sudden, usually there's also something that the man may have been doing to cause that turnaround.
So taking that story and putting them together, the thing is, when I sacrifice to put you through school, when I sacrifice to pay your ticket abroad, to get you to visa, to get you settled in, sometimes a man feels like there has to be something I must see you physically give back to me. Not just you or presence or the fact that you're my wife or my girlfriend, but there's got to be something of you that I retain or I have some kind of control over. So it's my own insurance that what I have invested would not go away. Not because I don't trust you, but I just need something. So the guy that sends you to school expects you to either maybe pay him a percentage of your salary, or marry him eventually, or stay with him. The one that takes you abroad expects you to at least whatever revenue, whatever money you earn, we pass it on, and we, so maybe that's the thinking.
Yeah.
When these men are having. But let me come to you. What are your thoughts? Because a lot of women are going through this.
Beautiful thinking. Unfortunately, it's not written down. And one of the things that we have realized that make our relationships, turn sour sometimes is a lot of assumptions are going on. People are not having clear conversations. People are not spelling things out. You feel, those are not conversations we should have. You should know. You should just know. It's a no-brainer. You should know. I'm your husband. I'm your wife. You should know. This is dating. It usually starts from dating. Then you now realize that they don't have soap to bath in their house. They don't have food to eat in their house. She cannot pay her school fees. So as much as she cannot pay for YEC, cannot pay for JAM, and you now start catering for this girl and her family with the hopes that, okay, we're in a relationship. Definitely we're working towards marriage. Because if you want to know if your man is in love with you, is where his money is. His money is where his heart is. He will not drop shishi if he's not feeling you. So when he's not dropping and giving you so much of himself,
his insurance
you already know.
Back?
Exactly.
What's his insurance that you love him back?
When he's dropping those things.
Yes.
He doesn't have that. But in his head, because you are in a relationship with him, he's just giving you all of himself, and you're not giving anything back. You are collecting, because at that point you are disadvantaged. So in his head, when you now get to a point where you are advantaged, you will give back. And we now find that it is not working, because sometimes women date these men because of what they can get from them, because of where they are. So I had someone in the university who was very close to me. I remember we attended the same secondary school, and her parents were really, really poor. Right? So the guy she was involved with at the time was doing all of the spending for her, to catering to her, family members, taking care of the siblings and all of that. And everybody just thought these two were going to get married. We got into university now. Before I could hear Jack Robinson, they had broken up. And the guy was crying. Everybody just knows this guy, that these two people are it. And I was asking, I said, Auntie, what happened? I don't really, he didn't go to school. I don't really, he didn't. She met somebody else who was educated, who had, the chiseled and the spec, and he left this person. Now, this person was so heartbroken that he relocated from the place to another place. I don't know where he is, and I'm sure he must have married and all of that. But then it got me thinking. So you were not really into this. You were just in it.
But Bisi, let me pause you
for what you would benefit.
Bisi, let me pause you there. You see, I love this angle you took it to, because it goes back to the sincerity that I don't know if that's how to couch it. A lot of women are entering relationships for different reasons. Many of them are not entering because of love. This woman or this young girl could be somebody, right now I need a support system. I need a sponsor. I'm in university, my parents are poor, I can't be sleeping around. So if this guy looks responsible and he's giving me stuff, I will stay with him. Now, if I now graduate from school and I feel that, because I know somebody whose story is very similar to this, this guy was never the kind of person she would ever be with. But he was there. Financially, physically, and emotionally. She now graduated. She went into the banking system, met people that she felt that, okay, these guys are at my level. The guy was still there. Unfortunately for her, she didn't meet anybody that was willing to marry her. So in her mind, she settled for this guy that was there. So in his own mind, oh, we've been doing this for 20 years, we've been there for a long time. But in her mind, I'm settling, because I wouldn't have. Well, fast forward, she now meets somebody else in future who now ticks her boxes, and then she's having an affair. So it goes back to the foundation of some of these things.
Well, you know, what I would say is that with love relationships comes a lot of risk. And as you know, you said something about not writing it down. That's the thing. You just trust each other when it comes to relationships.
Love is
you don't, yes, except for Igbo people who have now done prenuptial agreements and all sorts of things because their eyes have seen, you know. But really, most of the time, when you meet someone, you click, there's chemistry, you talk about your dreams, and it seems to align, and you feel that you're on your journey somewhere. This story that you've just painted is not a woman's only story. Men also find themselves in situations like that. I always make reference to the military because I grew up, you know, surrounded by military families, and I saw a lot of that. Young soldiers growing up with barely anything. They meet their young girlfriend who barely educated as well, and they're happy. All of a sudden, there's a coup, they make him a governor. And see, all of a sudden, you're not the spec. He needs someone that will come out and be the first lady, and you're not the one. You know, so...
And you've seen this happen.
Yes. And one thing with the military is that the young soldier is going for one training or the other, he's building his. Meanwhile, Barack wife is just there making sure that there's food on the table. She's struggling. It's not as if she's a bad woman. It's just that their lives, they've grown apart. One person has become this sophisticated, well-educated, well-traveled person, and this person has been left in the barracks with 5 children, can barely speak English, you know, she can't move around freely in his new circle. And then you see in Nigeria, they're able to marry a second or a third wife. But women, you know, when women find themselves in this situation, it's either they divorce or they're having secret affairs. But the truth is, life happens. Even in marriages, people grow apart. Even in marriages, values, dreams change, even in marriages. So that's why people celebrate years of being together and having the same vision in 20, 25 years, because they know that it takes a lot of work to be able to be on the same, you know, to have
journey
the same
of life.
Yes, at the same time. So what you will do really is just hope that the person that you end up with is the person that is meant for you forever. And if not, understand that there's a risk of a heartbreak, betrayal, but that does not mean the end of your life. It means you can also try again and with someone, and even be better than the other person that you were with.
So now let's take it to the story, the one that Mariam talked about the one that went abroad. So this woman, according to the story, the woman was accused of getting her husband arrested, I believe, right? Got her husband arrested. That was the story.
No, it was...
She left him.
Yes.
Then she now told us the reason why she left was because he made her provide everything, everything she earned to give, because she's been collecting it even before they left Nigeria, right? You're now in the US or Canada, and you expect that your wife would also continue to give you that money. Is that wishful thinking?
Let me give my opinion on the initial conversation that has been ongoing, in the fact that I feel very sad for my Igbo brothers who have suffered. They've suffered major heartbreak on the table of, I will train you through school, you are my wife. Because I grew up among them. I grew up in Mautu. My mom's shop was in Lagos Island, Mushi. To the left, to the right, they would look at this, our wife from GSS 3, and be paying school fees all through university with the expectation that when she grows up, I will marry her. And this exposes the woman to a more enlightened lifestyle, and she doesn't want to marry our wife. She doesn't want to marry our husband, the one with the accent, the one that is in Lagos Island, in Idumota selling, and it's no longer, I can't do that anymore. And many of them have been heartbroken like that. Spent a lot of money raising people. It's with expectation. You had entered an unwritten contract, and you walk out because there's no legal, you didn't have it signed. I think it's unfair, and many women still do. Unfair to the man, because many women still do this today.
Well, we ask women to look for happiness, do what makes you happy.
Yeah.
So should I because of society, I want to stay with the man who paid my way through school, who did all this for me, because society expects me to stay with him? Or should I go seek for my happiness?
And we've had stories where the women would even offer to pay back. And it's like that, I wasn't paying you. I wasn't paying for your school fee because I wanted you to pay me back. It wasn't an investment. I paid because I liked you and I wanted to marry you. So
I don't like you. I don't like you.
So we now have that conversation of having, when you know, as a young girl, I was already in that space where there was, my parents did not need you to pay school fees, but our wife was already happening. So it was a conversation that I knew I cannot marry this person. So I'm not even going to collect anything from somebody I know I cannot marry. What I'm saying is some women know they cannot marry this market man. And they would walk in through that relationship.
That believe that this was their man.
If he was innocent and he was not, you didn't plan it, I can understand. But there are many women that knew they cannot marry this person, but they don't have any option.
I don't agree.
So you will take care of me. I'm talking about, this is Lagos. This is my own reality. I know babes that will tell you I cannot marry this guy, but make you pay my school fees. You should take care of my family.
Okay, let me take this
I have the exposure and I was like, so I can at least get through school. If I'm not dating him, I will not go through school. So
let me take this call from Wale. Good morning. Thanks for calling, Wale.
Good morning, Leslie.
Good morning.
You are looking to.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, life itself is a gamble. And in every facet of life, expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
So, you could come across such things. All you need to do, prepare your mind. You don't have to, base everything totally on that thing you are doing. Even as a married man, tomorrow my wife may decide to say, okay, I'm no longer interested. So I should have that at the back of my mind, that if that happens, I should prepare my mind towards that, which I don't pray for. But if it happens, what can I do? Nothing. So we should always, prepare our mind for unexpected.
Yeah.
Even life is a gamble. We are not sure of tomorrow. We are not sure of the next minute.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Wale. I think that's where I was going to, because I wanted us to have the conversation in this way where lots of people are in homes and relationships that they're not totally happy in, but they're having difficulty to live. So in that case, you're an example, right? She probably didn't have mind. But there are some people that actually believe that I would marry you because society makes us can compromise. Okay, fine, he's not tall, but he has a good head on his shoulders. He's educated. Okay, he's not my he's a good person. He's responsible. Let me just marry. He's a good guy. And then you go all in. But then as you get exposure, as you go and other taller, educated, exactly also have their head on their shoulders, who are now more attractive to you, start talking to you, you now feel, okay, you know what?
Evolve out of the relationship.
Can you be realistic about this thing?
There's no evolve out of it. I'm just saying, when you evolve out of that, thank you for the word. Yeah. Now, because our society in 2024 encourages women to seek happiness first, do what makes you happy. Don't care about what anybody says. You want to live and find your happiness.
And then everybody's blaming you.
It's you.
Okay, I think the worst thing that can happen to anybody is to stay in a relationship out of pity. You will never be happy. And I know, because my area where I grew up to, a lot of Igbo boys, that's their modus operandi. In fact, girls now started targeting, make a fine Igbo boyfriend who could lift me from this poverty, right? I know that women know what they want. They may not know to the extent of how men calculate their own. Because there's a way men, when they are ready to settle down, there's a way they do their calculations. We are the ones that fall in love and do, I love him, he speaks accent and all of that. When a man is ready, he's calculating what are her strengths, what are her... there's a way they do their calculation. We may not calculate... They're more rational, fantastic. We may not go to that extent of rationality, but we know from the aesthetics what we want. Every woman has an idea of what would make me happy, what will tickle my fancy, right? But if they don't get it at the time because of the pressure from home and how they want to, they settle in the relationship. And even when you come to schools and you see girls, very intelligent, speaking good English, well packaged and everything, and the boy that comes to drop them in the weekends is one pot-belly guy with slippers and, short knicker or shorts, and then he's blowing some grammar that is off. But you see that the girls don't mind. Now, for some girls, probably because of their background and what they see or how they envisage marriage, they too don't mind. It doesn't matter. He's my udogu, anyhow he is, I will touch him up, right? But some people, as they start evolving, they grow out of that. They are now in circles where I can't even present him. I'm not happy. We had one where that time that we're singing. We had one that, you know, when time the man comes and the man likes to talk, the man will be blowing, be shooting. Because she was our friend, we like the guy. You know, consign us. That's who she has chosen, and she really loves him. We supported him. He will be blowing that thing. We are gisting with him like we did not hear the offs going, right? But that was what she wanted, and for whatever reason. But some people grow out. Now, the problem I see with all this giving so much of yourself, giving from an empty place when you have not filled yourself up, is at the end of the day, if anything happens, you will be crying more than you're supposed to cry because you have given to the point it now seems like the person had stolen from you. In your giving, I love this person, I want to cherish this person, you must also give yourself. So you must give from a place where you are full. As you are paying for her to go to school and you want to marry an educated person, there's nothing stopping you from equipping yourself. Take some courses, small courses. Take some English classes, polish it. Still prepare yourself because the person you are preparing, when she becomes bigger than you, it takes the grace of God and humility to want to still stay in that space with you. But they don't reason it that way. They just feel, once I have the money, right? And you know how our marriages are. When the man has the money and the woman is not so empowered, they take nonsense. When they travel abroad, the woman becomes empowered. They don't want to take anything that is not pleasing to them. So you yourself that you're training somebody else, do a bit of training yourself. Oh, you have a call.
Sorry, it's been holding for a while. Not serious. Sorry for keeping you. I'm so sorry. He was
sorry.
Sorry about
so
that.
I'm of the opinion that, and I agree to a large extent, we must grow together. And you give, you take. But I feel strongly that women, a lot of us, you know, I said we're in the era of selfishness, honestly, and I agree because I'm in that same space and I'm selfish about my life. I love myself. Somebody will say it is selfish, but I love myself enough to want to invest in myself and want my happiness. That's the era we are in. And because we are in that era, it's easy to overlook kindness and say, I'm going for my spec and settled. But I want to also say that marriages only work because you put in the effort to make it work. I was watching the movie and he said, people divorce, they put so much energy into fighting and getting divorced. If they put that energy into fighting for the marriage would have worked. Yeah. So any human being can improve. I speak to growth all the time. That man that is not speaking good English can decide to. I've seen men that will say, you see this one, Amo, you're looking very fine today. Nah, madam, madam say make I dress now, make I no wear short again. So some men actually are willing to, if you are putting that effort. Of course, I'm not saying that those ones that are not, there are categories that are not. Yeah. But we walk away because we are seeing one ideal guy somewhere. So one guy that you think has the 20% that you're looking for. So you are looking at that one, you're missing out on the 80% you have inside your house. And you'll be going to pay that 20% there. Sometimes if you just add the 20 outside and help to upgrade the one inside, you will have almost 100% within the house.
Have 85%.
Yes, you've not answered my question. Let me take to Ibrahim. Ibrahim, good morning, Ibrahim. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, man.
Good morning. You're good.
Good. Me and my wife were the one that won.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I never knew that fall. Good morning, man.
Good morning. We can't hear you very well. Go ahead.
Actually, concerning relationship, I think I would like to talk to you that when you want to...
Line is not very clear, Ibrahim. I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear you. You see, the reason I was saying that there are some girls that they're from poor homes. And you understand the way they look or the way they talk is just because of where they're coming from. But when they are polished,
they shine.
Hey, when you polish, I know one girl like that. And she recently got married. And I know that this girl, when they finish polishing her, we've seen a few that have married some wealthy men. Yeah. You see their old pictures. And you see how they look. They're miles apart. So the point is that after that polishing, now, if the man, unfortunately, is not at that level, so why doesn't society allow a grown woman, a fully grown adult woman, to say, you know what, I can leave? I know society doesn't really encourage marriages, but I love marriage. I love the morality of staying together. I love the whole union. But I am 45 years old. I am 50 years old, and I feel that I'm done with this. Great guy, fantastic. He's paid my school fees, done everything. I'm happy, but you know what? At this moment, I want to do something else. I want to move on. Why do we frown at that?
Well, we will frown at it because you've been in a marriage and it seems like you use this person to get out of where you are. But let's just even talk about that. These things happen normally, naturally. Nigerians, we say this thing, life no balance. Do you understand? So there's something that money does, whether we like it or not. It puts you in circles you otherwise wouldn't have gotten to because, you know, you did not have the money and someone provided that. And now you find yourself in these circles. And because of the way you look, the way you talk, you know, it comes with something. But the thing is, you're also forgetting that some of these men that have a lot of money, they have a very large amount of money. Sometimes it seems like unending. Many of the women that we're talking about are polished and don't want to leave. Because how many of those billionaires do you have scattered around? You are unlikely to be moving from a billionaire's house into another billionaire's house. Do you understand? So even these women may realize if I leave, that the billions are not coming with me. I would rather just stay with this person and figure him out. I will be the face of the family, and then whatever needs to be done, you know, we'll come and we'll deal with it. But it's not a... Women have also left marriages like that, and they would leave maybe to something even smaller. They've now built confidence and everything, and they're, as long as they're happy. Usually they may leave a man that feels betrayed, or a man that may think good riddance and get someone he feels is a younger, better, hotter, more educated version of you. I mean, we're human beings. We just do things until, you know, we find what eventually suits us.
Let me take Osas, our final call. Good morning, Osas. Thanks for calling from Ikorodu.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Nice to hear that first. No? This is the situation right now. Madam Temito, she's speaking something very nice. The other lady, I don't understand what she's saying. She's not even right at all. What do you think about sacrifice? What do you think about sacrifice? Let's say, even if the guy is not well put together or whatever, then he has to take the lady to take care of her. To take care of her education. What about Maya? When he's not taking care of the lady, he's taking care of the lady out of pity. When now she's not all blessed up, she's not educated, she can't take care of the guy after the time, so she can't marry the guy out of pity. You understand? So what about sacrifice? Sacrifice for your man. Sacrifice for your man and take care of him.
Thank you very much. Osas, sounds like something Nima would have said, sacrifice. So yes, there are things that you like, there are things that you would love to have, but because marriage is about sacrifice, part of what marriage is about, where you have to, for the sake of for the factors involved, children, the community you've read, you can sacrifice possibly your happiness. And happiness now these days is relative. You know, it depends on what you call happiness.
So if you get to a point where you have married the person, we can begin to be talking about sacrifice. Some of these issues where they have strained you till you finish university, they don't even get to the point of marriage. So because as the person is hitting final year or just got a job, she's meeting the person that her heart desires and she goes. And these people are heartbroken. So the advice I will give to everybody, whether men or women, men over the years will always, like the example that she just gave now, where this person suddenly becomes a governor and then realizes that you don't meet up to. They do it all the time, and nobody cuts their head off. So women too, if the broken English is no longer working for you and you want to take a walk, that's fantastic. But I think men and women need to understand that not every relationship will lead to marriage, and it's very important that you're constantly asking the right questions to be sure two of you are on the same page, because we run with assumptions thinking that we're on the same page with this partner, and this person you can't be dating somebody who you'll be wishing that you are going to be like you're going to be the mother of my children, and the person is praying that your wife will take care of you. Your wife, that person has removed herself from being your wife. You're not listening. So listen and be on the same page.
We need to wrap up with
easier.
this, but I think really in a nutshell, let's be responsible, let's be true, and be kind, and let's not be too selfish. And
let's be happy too.
Let's be happy too. So whatever decision you make as an adult,
own it.
Either you're the receiving end of the breakup, let's take it as adults and take it with your full chest. That's what I was saying. Yeah. Let's go on a break now. When we come back, we'll bring in our guests for the sponsored segment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder, what men talk about when they gather? Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail, or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail, or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs,
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni, Yeni, Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Thanks for staying with us. Join us on this segment is the head marketing and PR, Samsung Electronics West Africa, Chika Nadozie. Also joining us is the product manager, Samsung Electronics West Africa, Stephen Okwara. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Samsung Galaxy S24 series. Tell us exactly what's the motivation behind this new brand?
So for Samsung, we're a leading brand in the production of flagship devices, and I'm sure you agree with me that when you're at the top, you have to consistently set the pace for others to follow. right? And I mean, that's what we are looking to do. That's what we have done with the S24 series.
Yeah.
So outside of the AI experience, you know, there's been a lot of talk about AI. And, you know, for the first time, which we have been always saying, Samsung has brought AI to the palms of its consumers, you know. And what that means is we are making our consumers' lives easier. Outside of the AI, you know, features, we've also upgraded other features of the phone. You know, the camera has been amplified. It's way better. You know, the processor as well is faster to accommodate all these, you know, features that we're going to be talking about. The battery has also been optimized. I mean, in a nutshell, the main motivation was to raise the bar, you know, and that's exactly what Samsung has done with the S24 series.
Okay, so I've seen how you've upgraded, you know, from the old one, but how does it compare to your rivals on the market, and what would someone who's a product switch to?
Okay, so with me that we're in the era of artificial intelligence, okay, especially after the introduction of 5G technology. I mean, that actually changed the world. But the question has always been, what is artificial intelligence, and are people really aware of this this technology, and are they actually harnessing the benefit to maximize their productivity? The answer will be no. All right. So what we've done with the S24 series is actually integrate this artificial intelligence on an existing smartphone. All right. And by doing that, we introduce a whole lot of new mobile phone experience, or completely change mobile phone experience. There are a couple of features, of course, I would want to talk about here. One of the prominent ones is the circle to search. Okay. Before now, we are restricted to just maybe going on your search engine to type. Now, but with this circle to search, just circle the object on your smartphone or the image or anything, and then you retrieve all the information you actually want to get. The price of a product, the meaning of the word, the location of a place, and so on and so forth. The other highly sought after feature here, the AI feature, is call it that. And if I don't even visit there physically, I can just initiate a call, and we'll have that conversation, that seamless conversation over the phone in real time.
Oh
yep,
my Lord.
Absolutely. It doesn't just stop there. Now, there's this unique feature. There's this thing I did with my colleague. Now, take a look at this. Seeing this at a glance, just seeing this as a glance is just a chair, all right? But take a look at what I did.
Oh, wow.
Superimposed her on it.
Not superimposed. She was actually sitting down. I took her off the picture completely. And this is exactly what I did. I don't know if the camera can actually see it. And there are a whole lot of other features. Now, imagine if you open a web page and the article or whatever thing you're trying to study is so lengthy. I just want to summarize it. By just clicking a button, you can literally summarize the entire page into 1 or 2 paragraphs to get the main gist.
You're kidding me.
Absolutely.
Samsung got that.
It's right here. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. So, because of the features, but
well, I feel like overwhelmed by all the amazing things that this thing can do. But I want to ask about the development, because we've broken down a lot about the AI, the effects, the Google partnership. Is it different from what you just explained, the fact that you can do many things with Google on the phone, or is there more to what you can do in partnership with Google on the phone?
Okay. You can go on.
Okay, so I mean, we had partnered with Google, and specifically for the circle to search, which is what Stephen just talked about. So with respect to the AI experience, we have an on-device, experience, and we have a cloud-based experience. So on the Samsung corner, we have the AI Translate, we have the Chat Assist, we have the Note Assist, and many more. And then on the, to elevate this experience, the partnership with Google was what we did bring about the circle to search. And of course, we have Google Messages and so much more.
Okay. You have spoken about languages, you said English and French.
Yeah.
I find that that's usually quite easy. Nigerian local languages.
Thank you very much. I was actually expecting that question. So, by the end of April, still in this first half of the year, we'll be introducing 3 highly spoken Nigerian local languages, Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa.
Okay.
Yeah. Currently, we have the device supports 13 languages. By the end of April, we are integrating more languages, and of course, our local language, Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba will be integrated.
Okay, so talk about pricing. People always want to know that all these nice things you can do. All these, I mean, we've showed the phone is going to be expensive. Like, how expensive are we talking about?
So we're looking at from the base of 1.1 million to the most premium 2.3 million. Now, the S24 comes in 3 variants, the Ultra, the Plus, and the base. Okay, so between 1.1 to 2.3 million with this awesome feature. But we, of course, in Samsung, we know exactly what's happening in the economy. And because of that, we've devised different platforms to make it easier, make it flexible for people to make payments. All right, so we have this thing we call FlexPay. Now, with the FlexPay, you can actually pay instrumentally over a period of time at almost 0 interest. Okay, then we also have the trading. For instance, you are using the S23, and I think I saw a couple of your colleagues using the Fold as well. If they want to upgrade to the latest Samsung technology, all they need to do is just walk into any of our authorized dealership and get their device swapped. Just add a little sum and you have the latest technology. So having all of this put together, we actually created those platforms to make it easier for people to actually make payments.
Is there like a percentage of the amount that is what you swap with?
Oh yes, actually. So it depends on the residual value of your product. So of course we're going to look out for wear and tear and so on and so forth. But it's actually very good, quite attractive, between 50 to 60% or thereabout.
Okay. Given the economic situation, and these prices that you've just made, are you optimistic about the demand for your phones? You know, what have you seen in the market so far?
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, we all know that there's been some difficult situations in the economy. You know, however, it's been predicted that there will be a 6.6% growth in the premium market, right? And looking at how well we did, you know, from the S23 to, you know, coming from the S22, how we grew sales, you know, we are quite optimistic that we're going to outpace this market. So definitely.
So Nigerians have money.
I mean, those that have money. Let me ask about what have you done to improve? So, because I'm using one and I feel like it's good. So now, what is the physical, in terms of durability, from the previous S23 into S24?
Okay, first, the features that are worth, I mean, based on what I just said earlier, the AI, the integration of artificial intelligence, what I just gave was more or less the tip of the iceberg. A whole lot you can actually do. But some of the key highlights, the circuit to search, the AI video editor, then even the camera optimization. We are using the latest technology in terms of processor. And the screen, of course, has equally significantly been improved. Camera-wise, we are now looking at a device that has actually bridged that gap between the DSLR camera and the normal camera. Now we have 5 times optical zoom with up to 100 times space zoom. So what that simply translates to is when taking pictures, you're taking fantastic pictures. And even with the integration of nightography, in a dimly pitch dark environment, dimly lit environment, you can actually take crystal clear pictures, though you're in the daylight, or a brightly lit environment, and so on and so forth.
So who is the Galaxy S24 user for, and why should consumers upgrade? I mean, yes, you told us these nice things. Yeah, so I mean, is that the reason why we should upgrade?
About the value. So you look at
status?
Status, symbol, value, just like somebody who has the resources to go for probably a lower vehicle, and but you choose to go for the likes of Bentley. So it's more or less is a status symbol. You're in a meeting, you have your AI assistant right here in front of you. You're good to go. So it equips you to become to work more efficiently, and of course become more productive.
Absolutely.
And you know, the amount of information you have determines the amount of power in your fingertips. You understand? So this empowers you. It gives you have access to information just at the palm of your hand. Loads of information.
Bringing it back to the client, who is the customer, you know, for the previous model, that's the S23, we had more like a streamlined audience, you know, but for this model, it's open. Anyone who is looking to make their life better, you know, are you a parent, are you a professional, you know, an entrepreneur, a content creator, a tech expert, and you're looking to make your life a lot more efficient, you know, it's more like a seamless, create a seamless assistance for you, you know, it enriches your life, makes it more convenient. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
Who wouldn't want that? But, you know, we have some concerns concerning like privacy and data security. What do you have to say about that with Samsung?
Okay, good. I love that question, especially in the era where everybody's so conscious about cyber security. And now there's our security platform called the Knox Guard. Now, this device is end-to-end encrypted. So what that simply means is anything you do or anything you're doing on your mobile phone is actually end-to-end encrypted. So somebody trying to hack into your device is almost, in quotes, impossible. So it's secured. But the good thing, another thing is, even though it's end-to-end encrypted, Samsung has equally made it a lot more flexible to give the users absolute control of what they do on their mobile phone. So you can decide to, you can actually decide the extent of restriction you want to have all by yourself. Okay, so you're 110% protected.
You know, one question that always comes to mind whenever I talk to phone people, you know, is like we need some kind of a Nigerian manual, because many of us buy these expensive phones and we're not using like 10 or 15% of its capacity. We know it can do AI, we know it can do this stuff, that's why we bought it, but half of us are not even using it. So if there's a Nigerian version of it, you know, that has Nigerian English, where I'm giving my mom, because I was with my aunt 2 days ago and she just got a 15. She's not going to kill me. Yeah. Somebody got a phone, rival phone, high-level rival phone. Yep. And she could just confused. She didn't even know what to do. She just was like, what is all this nonsense? Just give me my old phone. And I'm thinking, we need a Nigerian manual. So Samsung might want to consider something like just 2 leaflets. Just tells you all these cool things you just said that you can do, how to do it, make it easy. And trust me, people will now see the value that Samsung is bringing to the table.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. We actually have something like that, even though it's not gone so big. And also, there's this thing we are doing at the moment, masterclass. Yeah, so we have masterclass for consumers at different locations. So,
to educate consumers.
No, everyone. So to educate people how to use your smartphone. For instance, the Samsung, we've had almost 4 different sessions. 5 different sessions on the S24.
That's good to know.
So these are some of the things we're doing to enlighten consumers on how to utilize this, because this is...
That's how you get loyalty.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know how it works.
There's something I need to mention, though, because there's been a lot of talk. You know, people always come to meet me that I love Samsung phones, but your screens are expensive.
But I was actually waiting for that question.
We need to, like, break that myth, right? Yes, our screens were expensive in the past, however, not anymore. So for those who don't know, we have a Samsung Care Plus. You know, this is an option with which when you buy your phones from an authorized Nigerian Samsung authorized store, right, you're able to register within a period of 1 month. And then you get up to 80% or even more in some cases discount when you're repairing your screen.
Really?
For example, for the S24, if something happens to your screen, you repair it for just 22,500. Just
ordinarily, if you want to get the screen fixed, you'll be paying almost 200K.
Exactly.
But with this Care Plus, you just pay a token of just 22,500.
So that's even over 80% discount.
Fantastic. Somebody sent a question in here. Please, could you ask the Samsung guys, do they have service in Abuja? So their issue is that whenever there's an issue, they have to come to Lagos. So it says, Samsung Fold 4, why do we have to wait a week here in Abuja to fix a Samsung Fold 4 screen? I'm told they have to send it to Lagos before it can be done.
No. We actually have authorized service centers in Abuja. Actually, we have more.
Okay.
All right, so we would like to get the contact of this customer.
Yeah, I'll send it. She's one of our...
absolutely good. So we can actually, you know...
She can also check our page, because on our page, we always publish some of this information. I mean, like on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. You know, to get more information on our service stores.
Yes, Abuja is one of our biggest markets, so of course.
Obviously.
2.3 billion. All right, thank you so much. Chika, Stephen, is there anything else we missed out you wanted to touch on, or final words?
That's fine. I would like to mention this, although in the past couple of weeks, we've been having this pre-order and redemption of this model, which is going to end on Monday. However, we are extending it with our launch promo. So our launch promo is going to be starting on the 14th of February and to run all through to the end of the month, even down to the first week of March. So there's a lot of opportunity for consumers who actually want to experience the latest technology to actually, key into this. And there are fabulous prizes and, of course, gift items that we're giving away.
Yeah, what's up to 500,000?
What's up to 500K.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's all we can take on this week.
Yes.
Please, whatever you do, get a Nigerian jersey. Please prepare for Sunday's match. And if you have high BP, you feel your heart can't take it, please stay away. Watch it afterwards. But for those of us who are ready, pray. Our prayer points are still the same. No, they're not the same. No, they're fairly the same. They're showing now because Osimhen is still good. But our prayer points are with the new people they brought in for Ivory Coast. You know, the guys that they played before, but they changed some of the guys. They're not the same guys are playing on Sunday. So these
Just
new guys,
do one
may
prayer.
God help them. These new ones will weaken their team. Will weaken their power.
Strengthen them. Oh my God, Nigeria God is
we must prayer and prayerfully win on Sunday. Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday and watch your View Pidgin tomorrow.
Yay!
And let us know your feedback. All right.